Hi, welcome to Off the Shelf with Christine and Katie. Anyone here know the difference between a memoir and a biography? So, a biography is about a person's whole life, and a memoir is written from the perspective of the author about, a segment of their life,
yes,
or something that's very important about their entire life. It could be their struggle with homelessness or addiction, or about their adventures, traveling the world, tasting food, or about their experiences becoming an actor. So it seems lately there's been a lot published within the past year or so, and we wanted to share some of them with you, as well as some of our past favorites.
So, as always, settle in, grab a cup of your favorite beverage, and enjoy these recommendations. Let us know in the comments which picks that you liked or any titles to add. Trust me, we always, as I say always, we always need more. And as always, if you wish to be notified of new videos, be sure to like and subscribe below. But now, as always, let's get to those books.
Get going. Why don't you start us off?
Cool. Okay, so one of my favorite books of all time, favorite movie of all time, came out with a book about it. It's called As You Wish, Inconceivable Tales from the Making of the Princess Bride by Carrie Ooles. So this was published in the movie's 25th anniversary, and it is behind the scenes funny stories from the lead actor Carrie Ooles about behind the scenes, never before told stories. There's a lot of hilarious stories about him meeting the actors for the first time and Andre the Giant. There's a hilarious story about him in Paris in a hotel in France. I won't relate, it's a really funny story, but it's really heartwarming. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I have always enjoyed this, and I actually got to hear him speak about this book when it first came out, and we all watched the movie together, and hearing a room all shout, "You killed my father, prepare to die," one of the greatest times, but it's a really enjoyable book, and I highly recommend it if you love The Princess Bride. And one I know that Christine has been really loving, and I need to read, is Madly Deeply, The Diaries of Alan Rickman. And this is told through diary segments. The beloved actor grants us access to his thoughts and insight on his theater performances, the craft of acting, politics, friendships, and general musings on life. And I highly look forward to this, and Alan Rickman was taken too soon from us.
Yes.
But I love him and everything.
So next up we have We Were Dreamers, an immigrant superhero origin story by Simu Liu. This is the origin story of Marvel Cinematic Universe's first leading Asian superhero, Shang-Chi.
Yay!
Simu grew up torn between China and Canada until he found the courage to dream like his parents before him. He tells his story about growing up as a third culture kid, about losing, finding family, and about making your own luck with wit and honesty. A truly inspiring read. I'm going to say my son loved it.
Yeah.
I'm working my way through it. It's a good one.
It's on my list, so I have to read it eventually.
Then we have Finding Me by Viola Davis.
Love her.
She's wonderful. This memoir covers her journey of growing up in poverty in Rhode Island and overcoming some of those circumstances to find global success and fame. Viola Davis is an acclaimed actress and the first African American to win the Triple Crown of acting.
Nice.
Oscar, Emmy, and Tony.
She's so talented. All right, and the next one we want to recommend is called Making a Scene by Constance Wu. And it is about the star of a TV sitcom Fresh Off the Boat and the movie Crazy Rich Asians, which I know everyone loved. Constance gives reader a peek into her life experiences from her first job to her brushes with Hollywood's sexual harassment to how she made it in Hollywood. So this novel is told through several essays, and I know I'm highly looking forward to reading this. And one of my other favorite actors, beloved for many movies, is You Can't Be Serious by Kal Penn. And is grown from a kid from Immigrant of Montclair, New Jersey, where I went to school, to a world famous actor, to White House staffer under President Obama. Such a varied life. And back to actor again. Cal reflects on some of his most rewarding moments. Above all, he shows that everyone can have more than one life story. He's in so many great movies. He's a very underrated actor. I highly recommend you check that out. Speaking of another actor we've grown up with,
Will by Will Smith and Mark Manson. So from a West Philadelphia kid to rap star
born and raised
to becoming one of the biggest movie stars in Hollywood history, this is an epic tale, but only part of his story. Here he shares his journey of self-knowledge, telling how he mastered his own emotions and written in a way that can help everyone else do the same. The audiobook I would highly recommend. Will Smith actually narrates it.
Oh, I love
it's a
that.
very interesting listen.
I love it when actual authors like narrate their own books.
Yes. Then another one that I very much am enjoying is Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. This star of Friends takes us behind the scenes of the hit sitcom and his struggles with addiction in a candid and funny and revolutionary memoir that delivers a powerful message of hope and persistence. It's a very quick read. It's a short one, and it's just another one that the actor narrates the audiobook, so it's another good listen as well.
Nice. Okay, so one that I've read and loved, and the audiobook is also great. It's narrated by the author. It's I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. And if you haven't read this, add it to your TBR right away. It's the star of iCarly was 6 years old when she had her first acting audition. Her mother's dream was for her only daughter to become a star, and Jeanette would do anything to make her mother happy. Yet achieving fame only riddled Jeanette with incredible anxiety and shame, leading to eating disorders, addiction, and bad relationships. But after discovering therapy and quitting acting, she takes back her life. It is a really great novel.
And she's given up acting completely.
Yeah, she's given up acting completely. She always wanted to direct and write, and she's finally doing that, and I'm very happy for her. Awesome. And this is a story of tale through that. But yeah, however, I do want to say there's some very harsh topics in the book, so there's several trigger warnings, so please let them up before you read this. But if you can get through it, it's highly rewarding, and like I mentioned before, please listen to the audiobook. It's worth your time. Okay, and the next one we want to recommend is one that I have on my TBR. I'm looking forward to reading it. It's Page Boy, a memoir by Elliot Page. And it is about this Oscar-nominated star who captivated the world with his performance in Juno, finally shares his truth. It is the story of a life pushed to the brink, a wielding journey of what it means to untangle ourselves from the expectations of others is an ode to stepping into who we truly are with defiance, strength, and joy. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm especially looking forward to our next season of Umbrella Academy.
Exactly. All right, next we have one of my personal favorites, Out of the Corner by Jennifer Grey.
No one puts baby in a corner.
I have not read the book, but she's one of my favorite actresses and loved that movie. This is a deeply candid and refreshing spirited memoir of an identity that was lost and found from the star of the film Dirty Dancing, which was a surprise hit that propelled her into fame. Now I have to read.
Now I will say, I actually saw an interview with her recently, and I didn't know so much about her life.
I
didn't know she was married to Matthew Broderick. I had no idea, so I'm looking forward to reading that.
And then
back to the 80s
back to the 80s, another time that I really enjoyed, Brat, an 80s story by Andrew McCarthy.
If you know, you know.
He was a charter member of Hollywood's Brat Pack, that iconic group of actors. Also included Rob Lowe, Molly Ringwald, Emilio Estevez, Demi Moore, which that group has come to represent an era of pop culture. This memoir focuses on that time where he was coming of age in 80s New York City, where he fell in love with those movies that would change his life forever. He also has a book coming out this year with his son about their Walk on the Camino trial. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too.
And if you've never seen the movie The Way, that is also starring Emilio Estevez.
And his father, Martin Sheen. So that's another good one too.
Yes, and I know his grandfather was also associated. This was a big family affair, so I highly recommend that. And the next one we'll recommend, I know Christine has read it. I have not read it yet, but I know a lot of people have loved it. It's Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. So all right. Mm-hmm. So drawing on journals and diaries from the last 40 years. This book is both a memoir and life philosophy. We follow his career journey, guided by the green lights he saw that led each step and gives his guide to catching more green lights, and eventually to realizing that the yellows and reds eventually turn green too.
One of the analogies that he makes is like, when you're traveling down a highway and it's all these lights and it's like green light, green light, green light, green light, and you keep going. That's what he wants you to get out of your life.
Oh, I see.
So it was another one too that the actor narrated the audiobook, and it's a wonderful listen.
I've heard the audiobook is actually much better than reading it, so highly to recommend that. Okay, and the next one on our list is Love, Pamela by Pamela Sue Anderson. And obviously many are familiar with her story. Baywatch babe turned rock wife, but most of the narrative was written by others, not herself. Her new memoir about her small town coming of age, her multiple traumas and Hollywood escapades, is an attempt to set the record straight, told completely through her own prose and story.
Have not read this yet, but I hear she's an excellent writer.
Yeah, it's from what I hear, and I know she's had a lot of issues with her story being told multiple times, not herself, and she's kept mainly quiet about it.
So this is her chance to let you know what really happened.
Yes.
Now we have some songwriters
and
musicians. First up, we have Surrender, 40 Songs, One Story by Bono. This is a memoir by the lead singer of the Irish rock band U2. This is the story of the remarkable life he's led, the challenges he's faced, and the friends and family who have shaped and sustained him. Each chapter is named after a different U2 song, hence the 40 Songs, One Story.
Understandably.
Then we have Songteller, My Life in Lyrics by Dolly Parton and Robert K. Orman. The story of Dolly Parton's life told through the lyrics of her songs. She brings the reader behind the lyrics of 175 of her songs to reveal the personal stories of her rags to rhinestone journey.
Always with the rhinestones. Oh yes, she always has a great attitude. And speaking of someone who has also a very interesting story, is ironically called Storyteller, Tales of Life and Music by David Grohl. And it's called he's the founder of the Foo Fighters, for those who don't know, and the American musician, singer, songwriter, and documentary filmmaker. Offers a collection of stories written by his own hand that focuses on the memories of his life from his childhood to today. I know a lot of people love the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, one of our colleagues, Katie, recommended this book as one of her best reads of all time.
Okay, and the next one is called Unprotected by Billy Porter. It is before Porter was winning Emmys, Tonys, and Grammys. He was just a boy in Pittsburgh who was seen as, being different, who didn't quite fit in. Story that everyone is told. But this is his story of how determination got him through the hard times to a proud icon who refuses to back down. This should be really interesting. And someone who we all love, and we will not be taking any questions because he's a great man.
Yes, this is Taste, My Life Through Food by Stanley Tucci. What can we say?
We love him. We get on the video here. See you later.
So, interspaced with recipes, which makes it interesting. This is an account of an extraordinary life. It's his memoir of his life in and out of the kitchen, good times, bad times, and the 5-star meals and burned dishes. So it's one of those roller coaster rides, and it's an excellent read.
Yes, and we love Stanley Tucci, so he deserves everything. Okay, and the next one is one we don't have at the library, but we wanted to mention this one because it's a really good, and I highly recommend the audiobook because he narrates it himself. We love auditors to narrate their own works. But as you know, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and this is Beyond the Wand, The Magic and Mayhem of Growing Up a Wizard by Tom Felton. And this memoir offers a backstage pass into his life as the actor best known for the iconic role as Draco Malfoy. He did such a good job. He recalls the magic of movie making and struggles of growing up in the spotlight, and the valuable lessons he's learned along the way. I love this book so much because he just tells a story about his life, growing up to be an actor. It's so inspiring.
Alright, so we have mentioned these next two books previously, but they continue to be favorites. So first up we have Spare by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and it's telling his life story at last. Prince Harry's memoir covers the death of his mother and why he left the royal life behind.
And this book is still checked out highly, even at the beginning of from the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And one that we've mentioned a lot before, but still continues to be very popular, is Vanderbilt by Andy Cooper. It is about Anderson Cooper chronicles the rise and fall of the legendary American dynasty, his mother's dynasty, the Vanderbilts.
He actually has another book coming out this year.
Oh, I thought so.
About the Astor family. Same time, that Gilded Age. So that ought to be interesting too.
She's an interesting writer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whew. It's only a small amount of all the wonderful memoirs and biographies that are available. Don't see what you're looking for. Maybe you like different types of biographies. Send us a request for a personalized book recommendation. Use that link below. Otherwise, join us next time when we are going to go over some of the most highly anticipated fall book releases. Can't wait. Until then, happy reading.
Take care.
Bye.